Video, we're going to talk about it's a 2018 Honda Accord Sport. And one of the issues that you don't think about when you buy a car is, well, how well does the windshield sprayer work? And on the 2018 Accord, the answer is not that well. It seems when the vehicle is standing still, the pattern of the spray is just about right. However, once you get out on the highway, it is useless. It sprays to maybe up to about the quarter windshield. And that's kind of annoying and not very useful when you're driving on the highway in, say, inclement weather. Now, not sure if Honda will address this. We also own a Subaru, and the Subaru, the spray pattern is what I would say perfect, even though the Subaru has other issues. But at least they could figure out how to make a sprayer work. Now, the other issue, since while we're showing the hood, is the hood itself. We talked in another video about the fit issues on some of the body panels on the 2018 Accords and the CR-Vs. This hood has been particularly an issue. It doesn't fit right. And then another thing that happens, once you get up, to speeds of 50 or more miles an hour, it just starts to rattle and jump around and kind of looks concerning. Again, don't have that issue on some of the other newer, brand model vehicles. So Honda, again, hasn't really looked into this, I've called them, sent them an email. They are saying take it to the dealer. The dealer doesn't deal with the hoods. And so here we are, having a hood that rattles, that vibrates, that jumps around. Well, jumps around is an overstatement, but it does move around quite a bit at highway speeds. And a sprayer that's not that useful at highway speeds. Now, the other issue that I have pictures of, but not a video of, along with the hood and, some of the other external design issues with this car, is the radar sensor system. What has happened in the past, if we look over here, is there is a radar sensor on the front of the vehicle. And it's mounted way down below. And what has happened with the radar system, or whatever type of sensor they're using here, is if you get even the slightest amount of ice on it, it immediately becomes useless and ineffective, which is a huge safety issue if you're relying on this thing to, provide any sort of feedback or safety, such as stopping abruptly. It becomes unusable. The smallest amount of obstruction on this sensor renders the system unusable. And then you get a warning pop up inside the cabin that says there's an obstruction on your sensor or something to that effect, and you can't use this anymore. And you can't rely on this. Now, what I've seen in some of the Volvos, for example, is they've taken that sensor that you can see right there, and they moved it quite a bit up on the vehicle. So it's almost under the hood there. And what that does is at least keeps the sensor away from, some of the debris or the slush or whatever will get sprayed on it. And that seems just a little bit like a more thoughtful design on their part. And while we're looking at the sensor here, again, look, it's just, I'm not sure what happened with that grill design. I talk about it in another video, and again, it looks like 3 interns sat down and just couldn't figure it out. I mean, here it is. Look at that. Honeycomb, random bunch of plastic, no plastic, just, I don't know why they just didn't stick with that honeycomb all the way down, like the Audis do, for example. Nice and clean and to the point, but not sure what happened there. So yeah, I think this is the last video for now as far as the issues in the 2018 Honda Accord. Again, just in a number of these things, after you own the vehicle for a while, it becomes apparent that it wasn't finally polished and thought out. On paper it sounds like a great car, but once you own it for a while, these issues, they become prominent and they pronounce themselves. And again, Honda hasn't really done much to address them, nor have I gotten any response from them indicating that they will be looking into them. Thank you.